long time no talk when it comes to the Chicago Bulls on this channel, as I do try to get back into some NBA content and I make some observations about the Bulls. What is going on, everybody? I am Mac, back with another video. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow on Instagram. Link is in the box below. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the Chicago Bulls for a minute here, as I made some observations with them. I watched highlights, I tuned into some games, and this doesn't look like the same Bulls team as far as I saw at the beginning of the season. With, they were playing bad, they couldn't hold on to leads, they had some trouble with some certain things. It looked like they were just going to blow it up with the Zach LaVine rumors and all that stuff, but over the course of like the last month and a half or so, this Bulls team has been playing better basketball. They really seem to have found a little bit of a groove. I mean, I'm not going to say that they have completely turned the season around, because I think that they're still a little inconsistent in some areas, but they really have shown some signs of life where they're finishing off games, they're not cracking under pressure. And with these past two games in particular, where the other day they beat the Toronto Raptors, which, the Raptors, they had a new look and they traded some of their best players away. Where it's like, they won 116 to 110, but it's like, Toronto's a team that you should be able to crush and you should be able to beat. But then the other night they didn't have that problem against the Memphis Grizzlies the other night, to where like they closed out that game. They were dominant in that win. They beat up on Memphis by like 30 points, I think. I mean, the pace was just way better. The high octane energy was there, and the assists, the shooting was better. But the thing that I think I like to see the most about this Bulls team as of right now is that not only is their shooting better and their teamwork getting better, but they're scoring points in the paint more. And that is something that I really think is going to take you a long way, when you can find a way to attack the rim and you can find a way to move the ball forward, because that was a big concern early on, how they were going to perform on the outside. But once they get in the inside, and I still think the outside's a little bit of a concern, but getting in the inside and you're attacking the paint and you're scoring in the paint, I think that's definitely going to take you a long way forward. So some individual players that I want to talk about. Obviously, the elephant in the room is Zach LaVine. I mean, with him being back and him playing well, I think just knowing what he could do, and it's getting done. I think that his injury did set him back a little bit. And he left, I think, after during the Toronto game with a little bit of a rolled ankle, and he played again, but there's no latest update with him. But I think the presence of Zach LaVine definitely needs to be felt with this Chicago team going forward. And I think with the rumors that he's had the whole season, I think with him playing a chip on his shoulder, that definitely is going to add some extra motivation for him. So you just like to see it with Zach LaVine. Then you take a look at Vooch, who I think, he needs to step it up, and he did against Toronto. But I think he really is starting to play more and more like he did earn that contract extension, to where like he's getting more decisive with the ball. He's getting more decisive with his shot selections. He's getting quicker around the rim. He's getting quicker inside the arc. And, he's got a positive differential as well. So I definitely think that while he needs to step up in some certain areas, I can't complain too much about him. Kobe White, that's another one. I think his three-point slump is definitely something to look out for a little bit. But, he's getting crafty with attacking the basket. His especially, with the last few shot selections that he had in that Toronto game and, parts of the Memphis game as well. But overall, I see a guy who's just finishing up, and he's really becoming a good catalyst for this Bulls team, and he's really keeping their heads above water. And then you look at DeMar DeRozan. He's a guy that I've had whipping boy past experiences with, because I followed him when he was on the San Antonio Spurs. But while I do think he does try to do too much, in my opinion, that's just something that carried over from Toronto and then from Toronto to San Antonio and then now to Chicago. I think he does try to do a little too much because there are some really gimme shots that he misses, but overall, you look at a guy who's just productive altogether. His shot selection's growing. He's starting to draw defense a little more, and he's really just become a really good go-to guy on this Bulls team. But I really think he needs a little bit more flexibility. And when the Bulls aren't falling, they get one and done with the possessions that they usually have. But overall, you got a good overall two-way player in DeMar DeRozan. And then Alex Caruso, I mean, his blocking ability's good. His ability to get past the lanes, I think, is good. His breakaways are real good, and the negative screens as well. So, I mean, overall, this Bulls team does have momentum. They're coming off two really solid wins against Toronto and Memphis, respectively. They're back at it tonight against the Phoenix Suns. Even though the Suns are slumping and it looks like that their little short window has closed, you can never really take them lightly. But overall, I mean, I really don't know if I can say that this Bulls team has completely figured it out, but I like the momentum that they've had, despite my suspicions with Billy Donovan. But we'll see how it goes forward with the Bulls, man. So let's just keep it up. Let me know what you think down in the comments section below about the Bulls. And this is Mac checking on out for the day. Have a good one, everybody.